What's happening with the Hamiltons?
What's up? What's up?
A new day. Guess what? Okay, I got it. Sports.
My favorite.
High school football.
Delicious.
Check it out. High school football. I'm a senior in high school, starting fullback. We're playing Central High School. Me, of course, Melrose High School. Now, this is one of the most memorable sports games that I have ever been in or played in. Because, okay, for whatever reason, I actually gave my opinion to the coach as to what we should do.
And how did that go for you?
Surprisingly, pretty well. Okay. Short story. We're getting killed. First half. No, not really killed, but we're not doing very well.
Okay.
The game is kind of a stalemate. Halftime. Coach says, "What's going on out there?" So
he
everybody,
asked y'all what's going on out there.
Right. He's asking us, "What's going on out there?" So
he asked for your opinion.
We're looking. Like I don't know. And then he exactly. Yeah, right. But coach says, that linebacker is blitzing every time. So he's talking to the offense. So I tell you what, the linemen are stunting. The defensive linemen are stunting one way or the other. And that linebacker, you're right, that linebacker is blitzing every time. And so I said, why don't we do this? And I must have had an out-of-body experience, because...
This is back in the 80s.
Right.
Okay.
And you don't know our coach.
Okay.
But anyway, I said, whoever's lined up in front of you, I'm talking to the offensive lineman. I said, whoever's lined up in front of you, take them whichever way they want to go. If they stunt this way, you take them that way. If they stunt that way, you take them that way. And I said, that linebacker that's blitzing, just let him come on through and I'll take care of him. Coach looked at me and first I thought I was going to get cussed out for even suggesting such. And he actually said, okay, Hamilton. I'm like, oh, hell.
Y'all, he was out of options. He didn't know what to do.
But needs to say, second half starts. And again, the offensive lineman, they took the lineman just like I suggested. And they let that linebacker come on through. And I cleaned his clock. As another thing that the coach said, but I can't say that, it's a family show. I cleaned his clock. And so for the next 5 or 6 plays, they blitzed every time, and every time I cleaned his clock. And now what we were doing was, when it happened, our quarterback just kept the ball and ran. He was running for 20, 30 yards. And so they stopped blitzing. And we were able to run our offense the way we normally would.
Did y'all win the game? Moral of the story is, so y'all were down 37-0. Y'all came back.
No, we were not down. We were not down. I know. I said we was having a difficult time. The game was kind of a stalemate. But anyway, we beat them, and we beat them very well.
Very well. Beat folk very well in sports. What are you saying?
I can't remember the score, but it wasn't like they were close. Okay. But let me ask you, what's the most memorable sports game that you've ever played in, been in, at home or in person, however?
Well, of course, you know me. I mean, I love sports. I do. And the most interesting thing is this: as much as I love sports, I suck at it. I remember in high school, middle school.
You weren't an athlete?
I was not. I tried to be. I promise you, I went out for track. I got cut. I went out for basketball. I got cut.
Damn.
I absolutely love being outside, and I loved it. I was just not good at sports, but I absolutely loved it. And so...
Try ping pong?
I probably ain't got no hand-eye coordination for that either. No telling. I just sucked at it. It was just disheartening. I mean, I actually cried every time, Really? And on track, I tell you what, I made the second cut list. You know how you used to go in school and they would put your name up there. You go down there, and I was still on it. I was still on the team. And
now, I will say this: I'm actually surprised because you're very coordinated.
Yeah,
you like to dance.
I love to dance,
and you move very well.
I can dance,
but I'm surprised that you're
I just not at all. Just I don't know what the thing is, but when we had our kids, we got 2 boys and a girl, it was my dream to have some kids that I was like, I got my boys, they finna play some football. They was like, they were like, no. My boys were into music.
You remember this? You remember our thing? Somebody to cheer for on Sunday.
On Sunday.
That's all we wanted. Was somebody to cheer for on Sunday.
But we did. Our daughter ended up swimming. And you asked me what's my most memorable sports game or whatever. And that's one of the ones. We went to a swim meet. And she was killing them, man. She was in the 50 yard. She was sprinting, doing her sprints, and she was doing the breaststroke, and she was winning. And every time she would get down to the end where she would win, when she was getting out the pool, you would be like, and another one, and another. We were cleaning them. We were cleaning them that day. So
that's my girl. She was my athlete.
That was my athlete. So she swam all the way from 10 years old all the way to college. So just going out watching her. We've been to plenty of sports games, but just going out watching her has been one of the best.
Not too much luck with the ball.
Not too much, but hey, they're musicians. They're musicians. They're musicians
and very good at it.
And very, very good at it. So I often ask myself sometimes, what makes sports so interesting for me? And for me, I just love competition. I may not be good at it, but I absolutely love to be in competition.
Sports is actually very important when it comes to development.
Yeah.
From childhood to adult, sports plays a very big role in development. And, of course, I would recommend it to all kids, if you can, play a sport.
Yeah. And we talked, and we encouraged our kids to play sports. I remember, our last ditch effort with Kyler. Well, we had a bunch of last ditch efforts for him, but I remember when he was getting ready to play football. You remember that?
Oh my God!
And we were going to the store. Went to the store to buy the pads to get all the equipment. We went to the store to get the equipment.
And the guy
was like, "Are you sure you want to do this, Mom and Dad? Because it's so expensive. It's so expensive." And then he looked at Kyler. He said, "You sure you want to do this, little man?" He said, because when they start hitting, they be hitting. And Kyler, as soon as he said that, Kyler looked at him and said, "I'm good." And so he just turned around and just walked out the store. We're like, "Where are you going?"
It was like he didn't know that football involved hitting.
As soon as the man said, they were like, "I'm good."
What you think all the pads were for? Because look, I was ready. We went in the store and money was no object.
We were like,
"You need a helmet, yeah.
Give him a helmet, give him
pads, yeah. Give him some of them, give him cleats. Look, get him the best ones. Keep talking to the man. The man was like, and he just walked out the store. I'm like,
next thing we knew, he was in the car.
I'm like,
but. It's all good though. It turned out to
he made a hell of a musician.
So speaking of that, do you think that sports has become softer over the years? Do you think? Because we really got something to compare it to. We got a bunch of decades. We got the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, and we've always been into sports.
Well, I think it's softer in the sense that they try to protect the kids more,
or even in the adults,
right? And I understand that. Yeah. I get that. I guess what it means to me or says to me is that we were probably a little stupid back then because
what?
Oh yeah, look.
I disagree. I understand that they trying to protect the player, but I do think some stuff they've just they've gone a little soft now. I'm watching some of this stuff. I mean, you.
I've been in football games in high school when a guy gets hit.
Yeah.
Obvious concussion. I'm talking knocked out. They put the tomato sauce on him. He goes sit on the bench for a while or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then they push him right back out there. Oh. So they don't do that today. I mean, it's like, you out for the rest of the game or,
That's not what I'm
but no.
I like those precautions that they put in place to protect the player, but I do think like sometimes when I'm watching football and now it depends on who you are because some people you walk up to, you can barely touch them. personal foul. It depends on who the quarterback is. I've seen some that just stay in the turf. But I've seen others.
I think what happens is that with things like that is they're playing the rules to their advantage, and I don't like that. Quarterback get bumped, he'll roll all the way over, into the stands. Like, who he hitting on? Like, doggone well he didn't hit you that hard or touch you that hard. And same thing in basketball too. Somebody get bumped, they'll roll all over the floor. Like,
well, I was going to say I do like the fact that they did try to do something about that flopping rule, and you don't see as much of that as you normally.
Perhaps they need a flopping rule in the NFL.
So if you had to choose, what's your favorite sport?
My favorite, of course, is football.
If you could only watch one sport for the rest of your life, what would it be?
It would be football. I think I would say that football is the ultimate team sport. And I said it because one man cannot win the game. Even though people think that one man can win the game, one man cannot win the game without the help of somebody else.
Well, it's funny you say that because, of course, I would say mine is football too. And, football is the most watched sports league in the U.S. It is. Really? Yeah. Especially.
More so than baseball?
Oh, yeah. I think baseball is like second. When it comes to looking at the stats, I think football is the most watched, and then the second is like Major League Baseball. So, and I've never been like a real baseball fan until the World Series comes. That's when I get into
now that's when I get into baseball real deep when the playoffs comes and World Series. I watch whole games and
but as far as baseball, as far as football is Monday Night Football, it averages around 17.1 million viewers. But Sunday Night Football, it averages more. It has somewhere around 21.4 million viewers that they watch that. While I think basketball only had about 12 million viewers that watched it. But Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football. I hate the fact that it's only 17 games and they extended that. So
and I would say that football season, it goes by so quick.
It does. It does. You wish,
quick. And then you got to wait. Then you go through the sports desert, which is that time between what is it?
That's like March to July, something like that.
Right.
Yeah,
August. And it's like
we have to say like, what's our favorite team? We have to say. I know we're gonna
get some hate.
We're gonna get some hate. But of course, our favorite football team is Dallas Cowboys. Yes, we are Dallas Cowboy fans.
And no, we hadn't won anything for 30 years.
I would just like to let the record show, I don't think that I'm an obnoxious fan. I really don't. I don't. And then people will say, well, what makes us obnoxious is we think that we're going to win the Super Bowl every year. And my thing to that, what I say, like my pastor used to say, it's a poor dog that don't wag his own tail. So it's like, you got to go in thinking, that you win it.
I think
that you're going to win.
Well, as far as the fans are concerned, I just think that the Dallas fans are just more hopeful. Now, right, we're just more hopeful. Now, do they really believe we gonna win the Super Bowl every year? No, no. We just hope we win.
We do it. We put out that atmosphere.
But look.
So speaking of that, do you think that sports are more divisive than they are unifying? Do you know? Because I've seen some people really get to fighting at the games. Like,
I think that comes.
Some of the fans get into it sometimes. So do you think they divide more people than it brings them together?
No, I just think it's the people and the individual. I think a lot of times, and because we've been to games where people. We were in Vegas a little while back. Yeah. We was watching the Dodgers.
Game. No. Oh, you're talking about, okay.
I'm talking when we was in Vegas and we was watching the Dodgers.
Yeah.
In the playoffs. And I did not know this man from Adam. I did not know him. And that's when they got that walk-off home grand slam.
Oh, okay. I remember what you're talking about.
And that man must have, he gave me everything but his wallet. I mean, I remember being there. And everybody was high-fiving and hugging. And
so you believe that it unifies more so than it's divisive?
Actually, I like it when people come together over sports. Now, because we've been in games when we've been on the opposing teams. Remember, we went to the preseason game with the Raiders, and we ran to the Raiders fans. Had a ball. We talked a little trash and everything, but before it's all over with, look, we exchanging numbers and you know, hope to see you again next. You know, if you ever come our way, you know. So it has to do with the people and the individual. I mean, you know, it's a time where you can come together, enjoy the game, enjoy the sport, you know.
So we talk a lot about, you know, football, you know, we watch basketball and we watch baseball. What other variety of sports?
I'm a big tennis fan. I'm a big tennis fan. Of course, basketball. So what
about some of the more well, I won't say unpopular. I don't mean to say that are not as popular with, you know, us, because I'm sure they have their a good following, a fan base. Something like you know, rugby or pickleball. Do you know anything about pickleball?
I have thoughts about pickleball. You know, well, I think, and it's just me. I'm
here to tell you, it's one of the fastest growing sports nowadays. So
I think they come up with sports for people who are not athletic.
Oh, that's me. I need to play pickleball. I should be playing. I need to learn how to play pickleball. They did that just for me.
And it's no knock on them because they're not athletic, because everybody wants to compete. Everybody wants to do something. And I think things like, you know, and ball and, you know, I've actually seen kickball and
I like kickball. I was playing kickball. I mean, the last time I played kickball, my legs gave out.
They have
I hit the dirt.
Kickball.
Yes, I like kickball.
You know, all kinds of stuff like that. You know, and I think it's an opportunity for people that may not be as gifted to play the major sports, I would say. You know, can participate and compete. You know. And that's a good thing.
It's a good thing, you know, about, you know, when kids are young, there are a lot of, you know, youth athletes that, you know, I think that's good for them, you know, to participate in that.
Sports is I was saying earlier, I think sports are essential in the development of individuals, because it teaches you one, that you can't do it all by yourself. If it's a team sport, it teaches you discipline. It teaches you to be responsible, because usually in team sports, you're responsible for, you know, your area, your whatever that may be, or whatever duty you have. You know, it teaches you to take care of your part, to do your part. Absolutely. You know,
I agree.
Team sports, you know, it teaches you how to function in life. Some sport, I don't care if it's kickball, jacks.
Jacks is not a sport.
Hey,
it's funny you should mention. It's funny you should mention kickball. They have
a league
for jacks.
Look it up.
Wow. I will be. Google is your friend. I will be Googling it.
Look, 2s and 3s. You know,
I played jacks. Well, I was good at that, so I was good at something. It just wasn't a.
I don't know if you can make no money in it, but.
So, oh my God. So if you couldn't watch sports, what do you think you would replace that with? Like, if I couldn't watch, because I don't watch a lot of TV. So when I do turn the TV on, it's normally to watch a game or something like that. And if I couldn't watch sports, what would I replace it with? Like, if there were no sports, imagine a world.
I would probably be doing some sort of outdoorsy thing myself. I would, you know, jogging, you know, won't be anything crazy like mountain climbing or nothing like that.
But well, here's another stat for you. Approximately about 70% of Americans watch live sports, which indicates a strong cultural attachment to sporting events. So, and I can also tell you too, I mean, going to live sporting events has not gotten cheap. I mean, and the stands are
the
full.
prices are crazy.
I mean, have you seen the tickets to the Super Bowl? The tickets, I mean, it was
Who can afford those?
our mortgage times
20.
Okay, Keith, we don't. We have decent housing. You make the folk think like we have decent housing.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, the Super Bowl ticket. I mean, nosebleed.
We're like $6,000 a piece, and it would have cost us $12,000. That was just for the tickets.
That's just getting this building.
So you wouldn't take me to a Super Bowl game?
I'll take you where you want to
go. Okay, so I want to go to a Super Bowl game. It's down in New Orleans this year. So what relationship does sports have in our relationship?
Well, I tell you this, and I don't know if you would agree with this. I actually believe that sports brought us closer together.
Absolutely.
And I say that because you didn't know football at first. And fellas, it took me a long time.
It did not. I was actually interested in it. I mean, I married into this Dallas Cowboy thing, but I actually like it.
Dallas Cowboys.
I mean, all of it.
It's like.
But no, I already had a liking for sports. I already told you that. It didn't take you a long time. You were just trying to explain to me the difference between man-to-man, all-out blitz, or if they're running a zone, or a pass option, a read option. You were just trying to explain all of those things to me. It didn't take you a long time. Man, then I didn't play football, so it took a minute. But hey,
that's difficult.
It makes it fun now to watch with me, though, doesn't it?
Well, that's because you understand what's going on.
Yeah.
And here the thing is, before that, I would watch games and I knew it probably ran through your mind a lot. Why is he sitting watching this game?
No, never.
What?
No, I disagree because I've always liked sports. I keep telling you that. Yeah. No, it never bothered me for you to watch sports. As a matter of fact,
you sat down and said, "What's going on? What are they doing?" And I sat there and I.
Okay, all right, but so all in all, sports it means a lot to a lot of people. I think it's one of the foundations that this world is built on. They even had them back in, when we watch Gladiator, and they had the games back then. All of those, so they've always had some type of
sports and games have always brought people together.
Mm-hmm. Giving them something to cheer for, and
the underdog.
People love to cheer for the underdogs. Okay, yeah. So it just helps us to be better, and I love it. So that's it. Good conversation.
Yes.
All right. So remember, happiness is a choice.
Never break your promises.
And be the reason someone smiles today.
Yes.
And if that don't work for you, peace, love, and hair grease. There you go.